Hello guys, it's me Karthik. Hope you guys are doing really good. So we are building a pin code application where we will enter our pin code and we'll click on submit and we'll get the results, right? So we have uploaded 3 videos as part of this playlist explaining about the design, then creating a React app and running it, right? So in this video, we are going to see the next one, which is more important one, where we are going to create components. In this case is our input form component, which is nothing but the one you see in the top, this form. Okay, that component we will create, and we will find a way to pass the data from input form component to the parent component, which is app.js, so that I can use of that pin code to the other components, right? So we will get started here. So this is my basic application, as you can see here, and you don't need to worry guys, I'm going to upload this entire video, entire code into the GitHub soon, and I'll put the link as well. Okay, so I'm here, which is nothing but my hello, simple hello is here. So let's get started. For a component, create a folder here saying uh, input pin form as a folder. Okay, inside this let's create a file called pinform.js to handle the JavaScript, and we can create a one more called pinform.css, and please bear that background noise because I'm very near to the main road, okay, which I cannot avoid here. So I have this JS file and CSS file, right? So first thing is you need to create a function, because React is all about functions, with the same name as your file name. Okay, so create this function, then this should have some sort of return statement. Okay, so return will be added. uh, then export uh, default. Let's export this guy as a pin form. Okay, and here in the import, let's add import react from react. Okay, now this is created a simple component here, and from here we will try to add it to my main. Okay, so how can I do that? Simply let's put this into the div, because our JSX should have one and only one tag in outer layer. Okay, so inside div I'm going to keep pin form. Okay, so I have configured my pin form one my component into the app.js. Cool. Okay, from here if I go to my form JSX, here I need to build my what I need to build my form, right? So something like this, let's start. I will have a div, then I will have a label about like enter, let's say like I will spin code like this. Then I will have a input text box, then I will have a button to submit, and I will have a one more button to uh, reset. Okay, this is high level what we have discussed here. Sorry, this is what we are planning to do it. So this is what we came up. Let's try to add some css to it. Okay, so basically what happened, from app.js we have called our child component, and we have rendering this data into the child component, which is automatically coming here, right? Cool. Now we need to focus on how we can add css to it. Cool. Now let's go to the CSS part. Before to do that, I will send you one link, something like this, guys. Something this sort of a file form we will try to implement. For this CSS is here. If you want to use, you can definitely use it. Even I try to learn from here itself. Okay, so let's take this guy in. Let's take this guy in here. Okay, something like padding 20 pixel of data, then background color, let's add this. Okay, now if I refresh it here, okay, I need to add the CSS here as well, right? I have not added. Yeah, import uh, yeah, in oh sorry, I think this should be caps. Pin form here, and whatever the pin form we have it here. Let's use that guy here, inform.css. Now if I refresh it, okay, uh, 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 import, how they have given here like this only, right? Okay, yeah, cool. Here we have this inform.css. Refresh it. I think it is compiled. Now you could see we have got the background. Okay, this is good. Now let's focus on other things here, like in CSS what they have did is they have also added background radius also they have added. So let's try to add that here. Okay, so that this will come as a beautiful. Okay, here instead of this, can't I use, I think this looks good. Yeah, this looks good. Then go to the JS, we have the input thing, right? So here input type is equal to text. As of now, let's take type is equal to text. Value, let's as of now keep it like this. Then let me go to the form here. I will take input here. Then I'll take width as 100%. Now you could see it came in the down, right? Cool. And we have two buttons, right? So for each button, what I will do is in a similar lines, what I can do is I can take width as 50% each, so that this will come. Cool. Then here I will have padding as 12 pixel and 20 pixel. Now you could see. Cool. Now in a similar lines, let me take this guy as well. Now you could see we got it in a good sense, right? Then here we can add background color here as well. So let's go to the background color and add something like aqua. We got this guy. Cool. And here we can keep few CSS, something like padding, background color, width, these things. Let me copy paste this. here. Okay, all the CSS came here. Now you could see we got a very good farm, right? Now the next challenge is we got a farm. That is cool, that is good. Then how can I get that pin code value and how can I send it back there? So if I enter 1 2 3 4 here, for each 1 2 3 4 the value is getting updated and the state here is getting updated. In the beginning it has no value, right? But when I enter 1 2 3 4 5, the state is getting changed to the next level, right? So to handle this sort of dynamic scenarios where you have to handle the data dynamically, you need to use state concept in React. So let's use that, something like use state being called here. Then use state will have a array here, constant array will be like pin data, then the setter method with the set you need to add and the same variable you need to add here. So set pin data like this, okay, like use state and the default value you can pass it. I am passing default value as this, okay. Then cool. Right, now what is going to happen? Okay, in my input, let me add a placeholder called enter pin code. Okay, and when the value is going to change, so I can use on change activity here, and I will create a function here like get pin code. Okay, so here a function get pin code will be here, and since I'm entering the data directly from the keyboard, this will be available in the event object. Okay, and let's, you can log the event object and you can see that as well. And in the event object only I will have the data. That data I need to set it to the pin code, right? So here I will use set pin data as event dot target dot value will be the value which I am entering from the keyboard. Okay, so when I enter the value in my input, this will get called and here the value will be set to the pin data. Okay, when I click on submit, as of now what we'll do is again when I click on submit, what should happen? It should call another function, right? So like pass pin code to the parent. That's why I given pass pin code. Let's log as of now that value. Okay, that will be available in my pin data, right? So that will be available in the pin data, and here the value is also pin data. Okay, and here when I click on click, I am calling this function pass pin code. Okay, then next one, when I click on reset, what should happen? I need to reset my pin code, right? So reset pin code is a function that we are planning to create it here. Okay, so function reset pin code will be there, and here we need to set the value to the null, which is nothing but here this empty value. Okay, how can I set? Using set pin data, and the value will be set to my default value. Okay, so I have compiled it successfully. Now let's refresh this guy. Now let's see what will happen when I click on one. Okay, console is not a function. Right, is this pin form 8, line number 8? Acha, okay, console dot log here. Cool. Here 1 2 3. Now you could see this event object is getting logged here. target, and in the target you will have this value. Okay, so that's what I have used it here. So you can remove this guy. Now refresh it. 1 2 3 4 5 6. When I click on submit, now you could see we are getting the value, because what is happening when I click on submit, pass pin code is getting triggered. Pass pin code, I am simply logging this data. Slowly we'll send it back to the app.js slowly. Okay, when I click on refresh, this pin code should be automatically set to the empty value. Okay, so when I click on here, it got refreshed. Cool, right? Then how can I pass it on this to my parent so that I can use it? Okay, why am I doing all this form and all? Because here I am sending it back to my parent. Here I'm sending it back to my parent so that I can use it to the API and other stuff, right? So how can I handle that? With the help of the props concept. Props is a way, the mechanism to send the data and receive the data from parent to child, child to parent. Okay, so again we need to have a function here. Let's say like function as get pin data. Okay, and this will have a pin code, or else you could say like pin code. Okay, and let me log this pin code here, console dot log of pin code. Cool, right? Then how can I pass it on? Okay, so pin uh, pin value, let's say pin value is equal to here get pin data. Okay, simply like this. Then go to your uh, component. Here you mention props. Okay, because these are our properties, and there we are going to set the value. Basically from parent to child we are going to pass it on, but in this case from child to parent, reversely we are passing it back. Okay, so I have the props here, and when do I need to pass it on? When I click on the submit, right? So when I click on the submit, what function is getting called? Pass pin code, right? So in my pass pin code, simply I used to use props of what is the variable number, this, right? So this, and here I need to call my function. Okay, here I need to call my function so that this function will be executed automatically. Then I have successfully compiled. Let's go to our application here, then enter 1 2 3 4 5 6 and click on submit. Okay, we got undefined here in app.js. Okay, understood. Props pin value we are passing, right? But are we passing the actual value? Not it. So this data, pin data, we need to pass it on. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now you could see in app.js we got the pin data, right? Cool. This is a easy way of creating the component. Okay, so we successfully created this input form component, and slowly we will take it on this API as well. Okay, so hope you guys are following this series. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. It's me, Karthik.